up, y'all? It's me, Erica, and we are down here. Peace, y'all. Take care of each other. Protect your energy. What's up, everybody? It's me, Erica, and this is your Real Housewives of Orange County review. Overall, it was a good episode. It was a really good episode. I was entertained, and I was interested in what was going on. And so I said, let me come down here and talk about these girls before I get too tired. So go ahead and like, subscribe, and comment. Let the diva know you stopped by. And we're down here, okay? All right, so we start off with Jennifer, Heather, and they're talking about Noella being condescending to her and how Heather hasn't made up with Shannon. She's made up with everybody else, but she has not made up with Shannon. Jennifer is, I don't know what needs to happen with Jennifer. I'm kind of losing her. You know what I mean? Like I noticed that last episode, last recap, I didn't talk about Jennifer at all. You know, the things that she had going on with her father and stuff like that. And her mother. So, I don't know, girl. You better, I don't know. I guess she's going to start this beef with Noella to kind of seal her position in the crew. Does she have a orange? She has an orange, right? Okay, we'll see. So Shannon says, not Shannon. Heather says she hasn't made up with Shannon, and so she's gonna, I guess, need to talk to her or whatever. Noella and Nicole go out, and I'm gonna tell you this: I do not like Nicole. I don't like her. First of all, this whole thing with her and Heather and Terry Dubrow and how she's been friends with this lady for 6 years and never mentioned to her that she sued her husband. Then it's like you're here, but it's like, I don't know if they're testing her out to be a friend. And I don't know if you want to make this the Baywatch OC Housewives, but that's what she's giving. And she's giving like old school Pussycat Dog, like Robin Anton vibes. That's what she's giving me. She's giving me like literally Pamela Anderson, old, washed up. Any way that I can get on television, I need to figure out a way that I can get on TV. I'm going to do it. She just seems like an opportunist. I don't know why, but that's what it seems like to me. I don't like it. I don't like how Noella was there, literally having a breakdown. But this is what happens when you cast people who are not friends. This is what happens when you put people together in a cast and try to create a friend group. Because you get people in the middle of a breakdown, not being consoled, asking, can I have a hug? Yes, she's having a breakdown. All she had to do is say she is going through a divorce. That's all she had to say. Everybody would have been like, oh, okay, girl, we get it. Because Noella was, when I tell you Noella looked a mess, she didn't have any makeup on. Her eyes looked like she had been crying already. Then she started drinking. And old girl Nicole was like uncomfortable the whole time, trying to silence her, like not allowing her to like express her pain. But again, that's what happens. You're sitting across from somebody who essentially has no idea who you are. So the connection to your pain is absent, because clearly she doesn't have any compassionate bone in her body to even comfort the girl while she was crying over this. I don't have any money. My child is special needs. I don't know what I'm going to do. My dumbass has depended on this man. Like literally she's breaking down, and you're like, oh, there's people watching. Oh, I was like, get her out of here. I don't like her. I don't like her. She was like, I need a hug. She was like, my life is falling apart. She was like, I need a hug. Oh, well, okay, I'll hug you. You didn't tell me you wanted me to get up. Bitch, how the fuck are you going to hug me if you're on the other side of a table? Like, girl, I was like, she's whack. Throw her the fuck out. Get her out. Cut her every scene moving on forward. I don't want to see Nicole no more. I don't like her. I don't like her. I did not like that. But like that's y'all fault. Like whoever casted her, she's no one's friend. She's like, to me, girl, you're just like this girl in the back trying to get some camera time. I don't know what it is. That's how I feel about that whole situation. Even the way she was talking to Emily. Go eat some sushi, bitch. Bitch, shut the fuck up. You in somebody's house that you sued, and you've been hanging on to this girl for 6 years and you haven't said nothing to her. Heather, whatever Heather got going on with the girl, we need to show we're okay. Girl, shut up. That shit is fucking weird. For that lady to be around you that long, not say anything, and then come in your house and then be like in your house, like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't like her. Throw her out. Cut her out. She's a friend of, right? Yeah, don't give her no orange. Don't give her a peach. Don't give her a shot glass. Don't give her a fucking spray tan. Don't give her nothing. Get her out of here. Shannon and her daughter, she has her daughter working for her. She is talking about what she negotiated in her divorce, what she got in her divorce, and she forgot, dummy, to negotiate paying for their daughter's college education. What was you negotiating? I'm looking at Shannon crazy because what were you negotiating in your divorce settlement? You did not think about the 3 kids that needed to go to school or would have needed some funding for school? Let me tell you something. Not too many women get the luxury of getting a divorce settlement and then getting like a lump sum and then getting paid monthly, and it still doesn't cover my expenses. Like, baby, when I tell you, y'all remember when Shannon and what's his name? Mike? What's his name? Mike? He was handsome. They showed her fighting for her relationship, clips of her fighting for her relationship, and this man was like, I just want to be happy. And you fight. What are you fighting for? And I think that's what it is. Maybe because I said it yesterday. You've lost. It's a losing game. What are you fighting for? Like, you on the ropes. You are on the ropes. We're slapping the mat. Hang it up. Hang it up. Flat screen. Okay? Shout out to Nicki Minaj. Anyways, so I'm just saying, like, not too many women have that luxury to do it like that and to have it and to have married like that. But for you to forget, to me, I'm like, how do you forget the college education? I don't know. That was weird for me, for her to say that. She was like, and now I got to pay for it. What were you doing in the negotiations? I'm trying to figure out, what was you negotiating? Private school? What the college didn't come up? I don't understand. Some ain't right. Some ain't right. Gina and Emily, they go out, right? They show Emily telling Nicole she's trash. Trash. The way she said it. I love it. I love it. I love it. You're trash. You ain't never worked. You don't have no education. You ain't shit. She basically told her that, girl. But apparently they good now, right? They made up. And she was like, I apologize for that. And she was like, I'm sorry too. And they're going to get past it or whatever. I don't trust the bitch. I think she's a mole. I don't trust her. I do not trust the bitch. It just looks like she's just like a little, like she has little wings on the back of her head. Like she's flying around trying to see. I don't know. I don't like her. I don't like her ever. I just don't like how she did Noella. I'm sorry. I do not like that. That lady was clearly in crisis, and she showed her absolutely zero support. That was really hard to watch, and it made me not like that lady after that. Like, girl, but then I'm going back to, this is what happens when you try to curate a cast of women instead of casting women who are already friends. That display was disgusting. I'm sorry. And no, she's not responsible, but there was no ounce. Where is the compassion? It was like a complete disconnection. We don't know how Nicole grew up. We don't know what makes her uncomfortable. But if somebody is crying, she was like, get up, get up, get up. Like, get up. Okay, let's just get up. Let's go because everybody's watching. Like, you weren't concerned about her at all. You were concerned about what other people were looking. And all you had to do was say, she's going through a divorce. That's all you had to say. And everybody at that table would have been like, everybody that was in that area would have, they see the cameras. They see the cameras. All you had to do was say she's going through a divorce. I did not like that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So I was with Emily when she yelled to Nicole, you're trash. Because that's my sentiments, okay? So are we going to talk about how they lowered the bar in order for Shane to pass the bar? Not just him, but for some other people. Are we going to talk about that? Because I know somebody mentioned it. I think somebody mentioned it on the show. But it's just like, he wouldn't have passed if they didn't lower the bar. God, that is like, that to me, the symbolism of that, I just was like, okay. All right, so they're going to have a pass the bar party. And, Gina's like, oh, I get to meet all the husbands. So that's really cool. Gina is telling them what was happening with Noella. She was like, yeah, we met Noella and this and that. And I was in cryo with her. She was telling me about, the husband owing taxes. And it just seemed like she had everything figured out. She said she was going to sell the house in Puerto Rico and da-da-da. Later, she FaceTimes me and tells me that her husband served her divorce papers from Puerto Rico. Emily says, now Emily's a lawyer. She says, now I know California law. I don't know. I think that's like a disclaimer lawyers have to say, like, I don't know Puerto Rican law, but California law is when you file for divorce, everything is frozen. You cannot move money. You cannot close credit cards. You cannot do none of that. But see, what he did was close credit cards. So we don't know what the law is if you're filing divorce from Puerto Rico. So we don't know. So that and then Emily, to Emily's point, what kind of fucking man would do some shit like that? You have a lady who's taking care of a child. Are you like, that's what I'm trying to tell y'all. It's like y'all sell this dream to these women, and when a man decides, when he wants to decide, his fickle ass, when he wants to decide, I don't want the marriage anymore, I want to just go out, and then like lock all the credit, like there's no care about the woman knowing that she depends on you, knowing that you have a child with special needs. Where is that part? Where is the care for the child? Like, and to Emily's point, why would you do that? Like, but y'all say, that is the security. And once again, I don't know anyone who would have the luxury, and I don't even think it is a luxury, to be wholly dependent on a husband and him handling all the finances, you depending on him for allowance and everything like that. And then it's like, you are depending on him, and now he has filed for divorce, cut off all access to money, and you cannot contact him. She hasn't been able to call. She hasn't spoken to him in 3 days. I think she said since Friday. I don't know what day it was. I don't know why I assumed it was 3 days. But she hadn't spoken to him. So this nigga has disappeared and filed for divorce. And you have a child with special needs. You have a house. You have to pay rent. You have everything. And he just gets to get up and leave. And for the idea that somebody didn't have compassion for her, like when she's in the middle of a crisis breaking down, like that shit is crazy to me. But, and then so Shane goes, oh, so he's not so sweet, James, after all. I was like, shut up, Shane. And then Shane goes, I don't think he's going to be flying in for the party. Shut up. I was like, shut up, Shane. Shannon. So Emily is mad at Shannon because she doesn't like the way that she described them to Heather as being manipulative, and it was manipulative and something else. It was something else. Described him as manipulative. It was another word she used. I thought I wrote it. I thought I put it down here. Yeah, I thought I put it down here, but she called her manipulative, and she's mad because, and she has a point. Girl, like, you're describing me to someone else like that, like, fuck, like, is that how you see me? But to Shannon, I'll get to what Shannon said later. So she's mad about that. That's what Emily said. And they just come to the conclusion that Shannon needs someone like a yes man. She needs someone to always agree with her. She needs an enabler. So someone who to tell her that she's right all the time. And when I tell you, I wanted to take a screenshot of it so bad when Shannon and Heather were talking, and it was so fucking creepy, dude. I was like, Shannon, those type of people are fucking dangerous. Wait, just wait. Shannon and Stella, they go have acupuncture with Dr. Moon, right? We know Dr. Moon has been helping Shannon for years, right? So he's giving her acupuncture. She wants to ask him, like when they're all said and done, she asks him to read her emotions or whatever. So he gets down to her liver, and I guess it was sensitive because she started laughing, and he was like, "This is where you hold anger, right?" So when he was done, he walks out the room, and they stayed behind, and she was like, "What are you angry about?" And basically, Stella just says that she doesn't feel like her mother has gotten over everything that's happened to her. She doesn't feel like she's really healed and has moved on. She feels like, her mom went through a lot, and she's just not over it yet. And I thought that was such a great scene because a lot of parents lack the humility to allow their children to critique them in that way. And I think it's awesome for a person who has watched you grow as they grow, give you an honest, coming from a place of love, an honest opinion of your behavior. And you're not above reproach. And I think a lot of parents miss that connection with their children because they're not humble enough to allow the child to say, this is what I see when I look at you. And parents don't want their children to look at them in an unfavorable way or in a way that makes it seem like you're wrong about something. The battles that you have with your parents when you're having conversations where you critique them and they are on their high horse and they're in their hierarchical parenting template programming, right? And so they don't think that they do anything wrong or the way that they're moving is wrong. And for Stella, is that her name? For Stella to just verbalize that this is what I see when I look at my mom, and I saw her miserable. And I'm trying to tell y'all got to get away from this idea that you need to stay in relationships for children. You do so much damage, like so much damage, and they have to unlearn all of that. They have to actually see something that doesn't look like what you've demonstrated for them to understand, like, that's not how it's supposed to be. And when you stay in relationships for children, look at Shannon's daughter. We knew what the fuck was going on, like the stuff with Melody and Martell. These children are not dumb. Like, that's the thing. And that's why I say parents lack humility, because you assume that a child isn't smart enough to understand that this ain't right. This ain't right. This ain't right. And if you have any type of influence, you should be happy that your child could look at something and say, that ain't right. But if you're staying for children, you're not doing yourself of service, and you're doing a disservice to the child that has to witness that shit. And Shannon's like, oh, I'm fighting for my relationship. Noella, I'm fighting. You're on the ropes, bitch. Hang it up. It's a wrap. The curtains are closing on you. And Shannon had to realize that. And then her child is watching her, and now her child is old enough to know. Like, when I was younger, I'm looking at daddy like da 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 da, but now I'm older and I'm like, wait a minute, bitch, you should have left that motherfucker a long time ago. Like, you don't get that? I don't know. Anyway, Noella's sitting outside with her mom. Her mom is having to tell her, like, girl, I think he's gone. I don't think he's coming back. Like, girl, I don't know him, and I don't know him, and you obviously don't know him. Noella's mom is sitting there. Noella gives us a little history about her mother always being there for her and always kind of being that kind of, like the map to kind of get her back when she's all, like doing her thing, I guess, right? Kind of her center, right? Her mother is where she finds peace and this and that. So I think it's wonderful, right? The mother is talking about how she loves the husband and how she at first did not like him. And when I tell you, when that first feeling about a person and you ignore it, look at what's happening with Noella. And you don't want to listen to the mother. You don't want to listen to the people who have the experience. You don't want to listen to them. So you have to go through it now. Here you are going through it. And you're still trying to convince yourself that this is not the James that we know. This is not what's his name? She was like, I think he's gone. Like, the mom's like, I think he's gone. No, I think he loves me. No, he does not love you. Where in the world is an expression of love abandonment? Where? Love and abandonment don't go together. They don't go together. That man abandoned the marriage and then cut off all the cards. You have a child. Both of you have a child with special needs. And he's left you without money, and you're still trying to see the good in, and he hasn't called you, talked to you. You're trying to call him at the table with Nicole. Well, at least he didn't block you. Girl, shut the fuck up. Why don't you go somewhere? And you still sitting there with your mom, and your mom's like, I think he's gone, sweetie. I think he's gone, sweetie. I don't think he's coming back. She was like, you know him. She was like, no, I don't know him. And do you ever really know a person? Because no one stays the same. So no, you never really know a person, because we are always transforming and hopefully evolving and ascending. Shannon and Noella are on FaceTime. She reads her the text messages from Heather. And, she says it sounds like she's forgiven everyone but you. And she said it just feels like they're back at square one. Noella's not feeling Heather. She's not. She says Heather is fake. Right? That's what she says. Nicole, they're at Shane's party, the passing the bar party. Nicole shows up. Heather shows up. She talks about having lunch with Noella and what happened. And they're on their way. And I said showed up, but they're on their way. They're in the car. And she's telling Heather that, she went out with Noella and this is what happened. And then she goes on to tell her, see what I'm saying? Like, she goes on to tell her that Noella called her a fake bitch when she mentions her at that lunch. And as soon as they showed it, I was like, I don't believe. As soon as she said it, I said, I don't believe her. They need to show me something. So then they showed it. I was glad they showed it, because my first inclination was not to believe her. That's how I'm looking at her. You know what I'm saying? So she says, Noella, I don't think she remembers. She was very distraught and she was upset and this and that. So I don't think she remembers. But she said Heather's a fake bitch. And then when they showed the clip, she goes, what, that bitch is fake or something she said. She was drunk. She was in crisis. Why would you tell her that? Bitch, I love when Heather walked up and she was like, "Hi, friends." Because Heather is like, "Oh, she called me that." She was like, "I thought she was cool because of how she related to her daughter Max, right?" So remember when she ran up to her and she was like, "I'm bisexual too," right? So she felt like she was like, "Oh, I was kind of like feeling her because of how she related to my daughter." But okay. She says, "I don't think she meant it. I don't even think she remembers it." So why did you tell her to start I got my good eye on motherfucking Nicole Baywatch. I got my good eye on Baywatch, okay? Emily, did you see Emily trying to bend over to get that fork? Bitch, when I tell you they had wrapped Emily up in that dress, she had on like a latex dress. She looked good, but girl, she was, when I tell you she was a little stuffed sausage, she really was a little stuffed sausage in there. That was funny. And then after she came up from trying to bend over, the other girl, she came over to get the fork. She goes, "Ooh, I need a drink." Shut up, Emily. Shut up, Emily. Everybody shows up. Baby Heather walks over to where Noella is. Noella is already over Heather. She walks over. She goes, "Hey, friends." I was like, okay. She talks to Noella and she says, "I got filled in the car with, what is happening. Nicole was letting me know what was happening." She didn't mention anything about the girl saying that she was fake. She didn't mention anything. She says, "I don't want to ruin another party. I guess we'll talk about it later." Now, I appreciate that. I appreciate you saying, like, because that was the goal. They didn't want to mess up Shane's party. And, even Shane at the table with Gina and them, he was like, "Don't bring this up at the party. Like, don't even think about bringing this up." Gina was looking like, "Okay." Okay, because we going to bring it up because that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do it. Gina, bitch, did you see what she did at the last party? Somebody's going to bring it up. Oh, my God. So she gives her a gift, honey. She gives her, what did she give her? It was like a scarf or something like that. It had rainbows on it. She was like thanking her for, connecting with her daughter. And it's crazy because she had that with her. And then on the way there, Nicole tells her that this girl called her a fake bitch. And it's like, she already had something for her. That's crazy. That's what I was thinking about. Like, God damn. But Heather, stand up. She gave it to her and didn't mention anything about the thing. So I'm sure she's going to mention it later. Jen shows up. She tells Noella that she wants to talk to her because when she was talking to Heather, she says that Noella, the way Noella speaks to her or spoke to her, was condescending. When they showed the clip, I didn't think it was. I was like, "Girl, you're reaching." Like I said, Jen, you're going to have to do something because you're falling into the background, sister girl. We're gonna need to touch base, right? She hit her with, "I've been thinking about this from the car all the way here, and as soon as I see her, I'm gonna say something to her." "Yes, Noella, we're gonna have to touch base." Noella was like, "Girl," she was like, "Girl, whatever, what the fuck?" She was like, "Touch base, like, girl, what are we talking about? Are we at work?" Girl, shut up. I mean, I guess they are. Noella, not Shannon, what's the girl's name? Heather takes Noella's drink and tells her, "You need a fruit refill." And she was like, "I don't think she needs a refill, but I'm gonna get her one." Girl, what's up, Heather? What you trying to do? You trying to get her white girl wasted? What did naked wasted? What did Tamara say about Gretchen when she was trying to get her drunk? Tamara! Baby, they tried to get Gretchen fucked up. She did. And then she was in there with Tamara's son. What's that boy's name? Didn't he end up being like a little incel or something? And he was like, he had a MAGA hat on. Didn't he have a MAGA hat on or something like that? He ended up being, girl, anyways, I don't even know why. I can't even remember his name. Anyways, so, what's her name? Heather was getting Noella another drink. Shannon shows up. Emily goes, because Emily and Heather were talking about Shannon, like, girl, I don't appreciate the way she was talking to me and this and that, or how she described me to you or whatever. So I'm gonna need to talk to her about that. And as they were talking shit, she shows up and they were like, girl, whatever. So she goes, let me go over there and say hi to her. She was like, yes, because you're the hostess or whatever. So she goes over there and she goes, I need to talk to you. She was like, talk to me about what? She was like, because you described me as manipulative and something else, she said. And she was like, well, that was after you broke a promise. She's like, girl, I don't care. Girl, I do not care. I'm not manipulative. Why would you describe me like that? I thought we were friends, Shannon. You're just making it worse. You're just making it worse. And she was like, I didn't say that. I did not call you manipulative. She was like, hold on a second. Baby, are we doing this right now? Yes, we're going to get Heather so she can straighten this out, Shannon. So Emily goes, right? She goes over, she gets Heather. She was like, can I ask you a question real quick? Or what'd she say? Can I get you for a moment or something? So she walks over there. Shannon walks over there. Shannon got the ice grill on, right? Not Shannon, Heather. She got the ice grill on looking at Shannon like, they standing at the table, right? So she was like, so did she describe me as manipulative? And I forgot the other word she used. It's pissing me off because I can't remember. And I thought I wrote it down. Because Shannon goes, I don't know if I said that. Girl, I wish y'all would just stand in your shit. Be like, girl, yes, that's how I describe you because I was fucking pissed. And I felt like, I don't know why you would felt what she did was manipulative, but I felt like they were trying to get close to Heather and felt like, oh, we need to tell Heather because we want to, I guess, show her that we have some loyalty to her. But you got to think about, Shannon could say the same thing. I thought y'all was my friend. And if we are friends and I tell you something in confidence, I tell you not to say nothing, you say it, or how am I supposed to feel about our friendship? Shannon could totally flip it, but she's so busy trying to make everyone believe that she's this nice person. If somebody has to repeat over and over and over to you how nice they are and how this they are, and I'm this and I'm this and I'm this and I'm this, they're not that. They're trying to convince themselves and they're trying to convince you. And when Heather and Shannon went off to the side and were having their conversation, I was like, Shannon is fucking weird. She says, Shannon apologizes, right? She gets her apology out. I didn't want to hurt you and this and that. She goes, let's not ruin the party, right? So Emily takes them off to the little patio on the side. And it's not me. I don't want to hurt people. I'm not a gossip and I've hurt you. Girl, that's not me. Yes, it is you. You just did that. You did it. You did it. You did it. And Heather goes, girl, I think you had an extreme lapse in judgment, because they said in the little round table, girl, you messed up. You could have came to me first. That's what Heather said. You went around me and everybody else and went to Heather and went to Emily and Gina. You could have came to me, especially knowing that we were trying to mend our relationship. That's what you should have done and say, hey girl, I know this is your home girl and I know her from back in the day. Did you know that she sued Terry? You know that, right? Okay. Because I just didn't know if you knew. I just want to let you know. No, but what you did was, ooh, that might be the girl that sued Terry for a botched boob job. So now it's like, girl, what? That's what you did. And then you want to call Heather, what's the girl name? Emily and Gina manipulative. You could have went straight to the source. Everybody has a part. Everybody has a part here. Everybody has a part here. All right. So then she says, if you ever come for my family, you are not going to, what she tell her? You're not going to have to only worry about me not being your friend. You're going to have a lot more to worry about. Some shit she said she didn't practice in the mirror. Heather, shut up. Girl, let me tell you something. If I was Shannon, I would have been like, bitch, I would have let out the loudest laugh. Do you hear? I would have laughed in her face. I would have cracked her whole little Oscar monologue moment, honey, for your consideration moment. I would have laughed. I would have been like, girl, what? And Shannon was like, but see, Shannon was like, girl, I would have laughed. I would have laughed. Girl, who do you think you talking to, Heather? Who do you think you talking to, girl? Heather, I understand where Heather is coming from. Yes, you don't talk shit about my husband. My husband is a plastic surgeon. Don't frame it like that. Don't, the way that you framed it, right? You didn't even have to say anything, actually. But what would we be talking about, right? So Shannon did her job by telling everybody but Heather. And she did her job by telling everybody but Heather. And then Heather did her job by cussing her ass out and telling her, don't fuck with my family. Or you're gonna have to pay. I'm gonna meet you at 3:00. Heather, you ain't gonna do shit. You ain't gonna do shit. It was cute though. So what do y'all think about Noella and Nicole? Am I doing the most? Because I don't like Nicole. She's like a little tan gnat with big titties running around trying to figure it out in Orange County. You look like somebody who just, like, you know what? But the first that just right now just popped in my head, the talented Mr. Ripley. Like, you look like you're an imposter. That's what it looks like. It looks like you're an imposter. I'm gonna see how this is gonna unfold, okay? Anyways, y'all, take care of each other, protect your energy. Let's get down in the comments. Peace.